Good to be here once again, and I'm glad to welcome you to another edition of Euro Today right here on Joy Prime. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and with everything that has happened this weekend, there definitely is a reason to talk about it. So over the next hour, we'll be getting into the conversations about, the goals that were scored, those that were denied, those that are about to be scored as well, and the projections. Some teams making it into the second round of the competition already, and some about to confirm their status later tonight. All of these and more are here. Remember, Spain, Germany are ticking the boxes when it comes to that. So who will be next and who will join? All of that, plus all of the big highlights, the conversations are right here on Euro Today on Joy Prime, which is also on 281 on your DSTV. Fentu Tahiru Fentu of Joy Sports and Mubarak Haruna of Joy Sports join me here for the conversations very shortly. But do remember that the multimedia group are the official free-to-air radio broadcast right owners for Euro 2024 and would deliver commentary together with selected programs as these for your enjoyment this whole period. And of course, you can listen to live commentary on Joy FM, Love FM, Hits FM, Adom FM, Inshira FM, and Asempa FM. And apart from all of these commentary shows as well, we're going to be bringing you some very wonderful programs, including this one, on all of these platforms as well. So all you just need to do is to make sure that you are joining us every weekday at 11 a.m. for all of the analysis and all the projections right here. So the Multimedia Group's broadcast of Euro 2024 is proudly brought to you by Sporty TV and SportyBet. Now, do remember to watch selected matches of Euro 2024 on Sporty TV, channel 36, on your digital TV sets. The coverage of Euro 2024 by Joy Sports is proudly sponsored by NASCO. NASCO, bring home happiness. We'll do a round of commercials, and after that, we get down to the business of the conversations of how the hosts and others found themselves in the round of 16 and how others are struggling. All of it right here. Well, by kind courtesy of NASCO as well, we're going to bring you something amazing today. So you'd have to be on the lookout. Take a listen to us. Listen very, very attentively and just make sure that you're picking up all the facts because we're going to ask you one very simple question, not so difficult question. And one prize from NASCO will be yours. And we're going to do that every other day until this is over. I'm talking about every other weekday right here on Joy Prime. Gentlemen, good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, an amazing weekend indeed. And you know what note I want to start off on?
Yes.
Portugal and, the little disruptions during the game and how Cristiano Ronaldo had to ward off about 4 of them? 5 of them.
There were 5 pitch invaders.
5 pitch invaders. Yeah. But, beyond all the fun and all the excitement and the ambitions of these fans who, are obsessed with the character of Cristiano Ronaldo and other stars, what then does it mean for security? Because,
good point.
It's a tournament in Germany that's supposed to have state-of-the-art, top of the range security.
Yeah, and I think UEFA...
5 pitch invaders in a game.
In a single match. I think UEFA must have released a statement or something like that, and UEFA officials that I saw somewhere commenting on it, and I think they're very worried, to be fair, because you make a very good point about security. Yes, it's easy for people to think it's all fun and games and that they just want a selfie. But there's no telling which of them is holding a knife and running towards a footballer, and they could just stick it in there. So, it's a very worrying situation, to be fair. And listen, we have this is top of the range stadium, but I think also this competition is revealing to us that all of the things we paint about European competitions and how perfect they are not actually like that. Because we also saw, I think, earlier in the competition, the Dortmund stadium leaking really badly after a heavy rainfall. The match had to be stopped for the water to be dealt with. And so there are some challenges here and there at these European Championships in particular. And I think that UEFA would have taken notice of that. The pitch invasion certainly has to stop because, this is a competition where you can't even, and we're in an era where security is a very serious issue. And there's no telling who has what inside the stadium. And anything could really happen. So, I hope that, and this is also the era of gun violence everywhere. So it's a whole lot. It's very, very complicated situation. Even travel. I have seen especially in the first game between England and Serbia. There was so much chaos involving travel, accessing the game, and even getting back from the game. The first match, I think the first goal came inside the opening 22 minutes or so. And then, some people got to the stadium after that. And then they never saw another goal. The only goal of the game came before they entered the stadium because of travel delays. The trains are struggling, buses are struggling. It's a big mess over there regarding these sorts of situations. And look, you see that beautiful picture, everybody can see his smile, he's just looking for a picture. This is all well and good, but there is no telling, like I indicated, who is holding what and what could possibly happen. This is a situation where they allow the consumption of beer in the stands and all that. A can beer there, a can there. Like, there's so many ways to find a weapon to hurt someone. And, we've seen situations where even fans clash, opposing fans have clashed in the stands and are fighting. So I'm not sure. UEFA really need to get their act together because this is not, AFCON was perfect. UEFA needs to learn from the Confederation of African Football on how to organize intercontinental competition.
Well. Interesting thoughts there by Fenturo Tahiro Fenturo on the issue of pitch invasion. Well, this young lad found himself there. He was lucky. He got a very stable shot, Blair-free shot as well. And this, I'm sure...
Because some of them don't get that lucky.
For him. Yeah, well, the adults are supposed to know better.
I have seen a pitch invasion, pitch invasion where the guy went, I think it was in the MLS, he invaded the pitch to go and take a picture with Messi. When he went, his phone was locked. He was trying to enter the key. He wasn't, and the security came to carry him away. And
he's like,
he bottled the pitch invasion.
Is given special dispensation to be in the inner perimeter, around the inner perimeter of the pitch. Yeah.
Because also that's America.
Yeah. Interesting stuff there. So these things need to be looked at. And that also tells us, just before we wrap up on this point, about African journalists and how we should sometimes go easy in as much as we do not want to encourage any mediocrity and any lack of standards in terms of quality.
Well, Nat, you see, the job is the job. Journalists must be as objective as possible, and they have to keep the leaders on their toes. And, well, you can make a point that the Europeans didn't do that. All the focus was on the match, on Cristiano Ronaldo's assist for Bruno Fernandes. People haven't really spoken about these pitch invasions. But the job is the job, and journalists must be absolutely objective as possible.
Okay. All right. So let's now get down to the results. Now, for Portugal, find themselves there at the top. It was after that very impressive win at the weekend. And Cristiano Ronaldo there at the helm, Bruno Fernandes there, 3 unanswered goals, and that is the end of story. That places them in a very good place ahead of the last round of matches. Yeah,
it was a very poor game for Turkey. They started really well in the opening stages of the game. Akdun got a couple of chances. Akçakoglu as well got in some really decent positions, but then they blew it. And then after that, they just sort of self-distracted. But I think big credit to Portugal because the manager, Roberto Martinez, has shown that he can learn. And the decision to bring in Palhinha in that starting lineup gave them a certain stability that they didn't have in the first game. And also the decision to play Cristiano Ronaldo centrally, it gave them a focal point of attack. And that's what they didn't have in the first match. And I think overall, I was very impressed with Portugal's performance. That scoreline is their joint highest ever win at the UEFA Euros. A 3-0 scoreline. I think that's the third or fourth one that they have won by that scoreline. And inversely, it's the same for Turkey. That's their biggest defeat in the European Championship history. They've matched their biggest defeat yet. And I was looking at the statistics even before the match started, and I was shocked to discover that Turkey had only ever previously made the knockout stages of this competition 2 times previously. I'm like, oh, the other years, what were we doing? So they really have no pedigree in this competition, and this was a good opportunity for them, especially given the way they started the competition with what looked like 2 goal of the tournament contenders already, with Arda Güler coming off the bench and scoring an absolute belter. He was benched. I was very surprised that he didn't start this match. I thought he would have been rewarded. I mean, listen, I always say that, and I always say that if you're good enough to start. Okay, if you're good enough, you're old enough. It doesn't matter that you're a young player, so long as you show that. And then when he came off, you could see that he brought a certain verve, a certain attacking impetus that they didn't have in the first half. And then, for me, my biggest disappointment with them was just the way they defended. It was just horrible. The second goal was bad miscommunication between Bayende, the Man United goalkeeper, and
Akaiden
and then Akaiden. And it was,
Badachi,
you know, it's just a simple issue of communication. Just shout to your defender, I am coming out. He doesn't. He passes the ball into his own net. And then, you know, from then on, it just wasn't going to happen. And I think, for me, credit to Cristiano Ronaldo. He had the opportunity to make history. He could have scored from that moment he passed to Bruno Fernandes. That would have taken him to a record-extending 15 goals in the history of the European competition. He did it, laid it off to him, still made history in the process because then he made him the highest assist maker at the European Championships with 8. It looks like at this competition, everything Cristiano Ronaldo does is history. He now has the highest number of appearances. That was his 27th, I believe. He has the most assists with 8. He has the most goals with 14. He has the most tournament appearances with 6. You know, most tournament games with 27, the most tournament appearances with 6. It just makes no sense. How good it is at the age of 39, and he played 90 minutes. It's unbelievable what Cristiano Ronaldo is doing.
Cristiano Ronaldo is a whole course to be studied in the university, I'm telling you.
And then there was Pepe.
41.
There is the story of Pepe as well, and how the two have collaborated on various legs in the national team and even at club level when both had to play at Real Madrid. And Pepe's story is one for the history books as well, because he's been along, you know, the way with Pepe. And he made a very remarkable statement about how he's ready to sacrifice whichever record it is so that Pepe, you know, because he wants to be by his side all the time. And when two players are able to understand themselves like this, it's the coach's platinum mind.
Yeah.
Yes, for Pepe, you can talk about him playing as a centre-back. I think he conserves some sort of energy because being playing in front of the players, you don't always run, you don't always need to chase down balls, you don't always have to use your pace. But you talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, who has been doing this for the past 20 years, and it's absolutely remarkable for him. He's a sportsman, he's a sports icon. I think all those youngsters coming up should obviously learn from him.
Well, so
the oldest player to ever play at the Euros.
Yeah. So Portugal there on their 6 points. They have a superior goal advantage, 4 goals there. Turkey, who are following with 3, unfortunately do not have any goals in terms of cushion. Now, Czech Republic have 1 point. Georgia also have 1 point. So what it is that for all these 3 teams, it could be anybody's game on, you know, the final match day in the group stages, which will make it very, very interesting.
Turkey would finish second in the group with a draw, for sure, and they play Czech Republic.
That'll be tough.
Yes, very difficult game. Georgia against Portugal. The only way Georgia would qualify is if they beat Portugal. But this looks like one of those groups where you could possibly have 3 teams making it out. And I think Turkey versus Czech Republic, that's the game in the last round on Tuesday. That would be some match.
Well, definitely. And you'd have to be catching live commentary with us. You need to be following live commentary with us. Let's quickly take a look at the Portugal-Turkey highlights, just in case you missed out on the game because of weekend activity. And then after that, we'll zero in on Belgium as well. Well, that's how it wrapped up for the Romanians. They started well, but, well, this is how it looks like. And this is the most interesting group so far. Now, Group E has Romania on 3 points with a goals advantage. Belgium on 3 points with a goals advantage. Slovakia, no goal advantage, but 3 points. And then Ukraine with a deficit of 2 and 3 points. Now, this is what I call competition, and this is what I call a very, very tight corner as we approach the final match day in the group stage.
Previously, this would have been easy for Belgium, but at the moment, I don't think Belgium are a force to be reckoned with. I think they are less formidable. When you look at that particular
do you want to guess their FIFA ranking?
No? What was it?
would guess where they're ranked in the world? Just a wild guess.
Oh, maybe 10th.
2. That's the number 2 ranked nation in the world.
It just looks like there's a thing with being ranked on these FIFA rankings and going into international tournaments.
Yes.
You do remember when the USA played Ghana, right? They were number 3 in the world.
Yeah.
They came and they got a football lesson from Ghana. So, you know.
I think it was Czech Republic who were number 2 at the time.
Okay, and then
US were
was
also in
fifth.
the top 10.
Yeah, they were
I think
fifth.
the
US
rankings
was
has
fifth.
to do with your
Yeah.
previous form.
It does.
Isn't it? Yes. So, by the moment, I think they are less formidable. When you look at the match against Romania, Romania just played into the hands of Belgium. They played high up the pitch. They were attacking. They were committing more men forward. And when you have the likes of Romelu Lukaku, who is quite bulky, who is strong, and you have Kevin De Bruyne, who could give bisecting passes, it's very easy for Belgium to cut you open and then score goals. But I think they toiled for the victory because De Bruyne had to score in the last minute to guarantee 3 points. And it tells you that their performance is not really up to the mark. Romania created many chances as well, but they were quite wasteful in front of goal. This is not a Belgian team that we are really looking forward to. If they were to meet tough opponents, the likes of France, the likes of Germany, who have got fast wingers, very, very good attackers, I think they would find themselves wanting. I'm not really impressed with this Belgium team.
Okay.
I think
what about you,
I think it's a fairly new team with a new manager.
But they've got many old players in that team.
They do.
You've got Lukaku, you've got Vertonghen, you've got Castagna at right back, you have Telemans in midfield. These are players who have got experience in that team.
I mean, I get it. When you compare this team to, I think, the team that made the semi-finals of the World Cup in 2018 finished there, that was the golden generation of a Belgium team with the Hazards and De Bruyne's, all of them at their
Dries
peak.
Mertens and the likes.
You know, Dries Mertens. And to be fair, I think I agree to some extent with what Mubarak says, that Belgium don't look very convincing just yet. However, I think that first game against Slovakia, I feel like they were very unlucky to lose that match. They scored 2 goals that were disallowed. The second one, many people, you know, think it was controversial. But I think, by and large, the second game against Romania, I was impressed. And I think it had to do with the style of play that Romania came with. They gave them a lot more spaces, which tells me that Tedesco's team can do well against teams that come attacking them very high up the pitch or opening up and leaving spaces in behind. And when you look at most of the European teams, that is exactly how they play. And if Belgium show that they can get results against teams that come to play against them, then they have a really good chance to go on and do something great in this competition. I don't see them as favorites to win, but I think they have the capacity to go far. I think they will qualify. It's very tricky because this is the first time ever in the history of the Euros where after 2 matches, all 4 teams in the group stages have been level on points with 3 points. What this means is that every single one of these teams stands a chance of qualifying, and every single one of them stands a chance of being eliminated with 1 game to the end of the group stages. So that is exactly what it means. For Romania and Belgium, it's a pretty straightforward idea. They avoid defeats, they will qualify because of their superior goal difference. You know, because Romania, I think, plays Slovakia, and then Belgium play against Ukraine. If they get draws, that means that all 4 teams will go level on 4 points. And with that, the goal advantage of certainly is with Romania and Belgium. So those 2 would qualify automatically. And then Slovakia will still have a chance to qualify as one of the third best placed teams. The disappointing thing would be that there could be a team from Group E that could get eliminated bottom of the table with 4 points, while a team from another group with 3 points and finishing 10 will be going to the round of 16. Yeah. It's really it's a sticky one.
Mubarak, Germany, I mean, they've started well. They've given the home fans something to be excited about. Because of them, the fans are filled to every single space detail. Now, they're also delivering on the pitch, and it just spells a very wonderful time in terms of the transition of their mine shaft as they look forward to dominating the world again.
Yes, Germany are not a finished product yet since Julian Nagelsmann took over the job. When you watch their friendlies, they played very well, creating chances, but they don't put those chances into the back of the net. Into this tournament against Scotland, they were fortunate that they were facing a side like Scotland, who were quite fearful of them, who were giving them much respect. And of course, Germany had to play very well because of the trepidation, because their last two tournaments, the World Cup 2018 and of course the World Cup in 2022, they exited from the first round. So it was very important for them to start very well, start on the front foot. And they had a very, very good performance, 5-1. In their second game, they won, but then they struggled. Hungary played so well, created many chances, and should have scored. The game shouldn't have ended 2-0 in favor of Germany. And I felt Switzerland, with the kind of attacking prowess they have, they would really, really test Germany. And I think they did that. They've been able to exploit the weakness of Nagelsmann's tactics, which is to more or less play like a three-back system, cruise in and around the left-back hole, and then feed in the likes of Kimmich with passing, and they will also deliver crosses into the 18-yard box for the likes of Musiala and then Florian to pounce on. Switzerland, they were able to exploit those spaces. They were able to press the back line of Germany really, really well. Brilliant Mbolo, and of course, Ndoye. They did so well. Press the back line, pin them into their own half. Rudiger really, really struggled last night. And of course, I think it was a fairly good result for the two sides. After Germany trailed, they came back into the second half, created many chances, and of course got the equalizing goal. One important thing would be the bench of Germany, because Nagelsmann has shown that if the first 11 are not able to break down the opponent, he has someone like Füllkrug on the bench who could come into the game and then make a difference.
Yeah, even Leroy Sané is an option.
Leroy Sané, exactly.
As well. He's not impressed in this tournament or in any tournament at all for Germany. And he continues to be a very curious case. You remember when he was left behind for the 2018 World Cup? That was a controversial decision. Everybody thought it was a bad decision, and then it looked like it was justified when they didn't make it out of the group, you know. And then subsequent competitions, it just got worse and worse, even with him coming back into the team. So he still has got a big point to prove with this German national team. But the Swiss, my brother, this Swiss team, or any Swiss team, are just a stubborn side at tournament. They kicked out world champions France at the last Euros. Remember also at the World Cup in 2010, they beat the European champions Spain in the first game. So they have that kind of history. They're a tournament team. They're a very difficult team to beat, very organized. So I think Germany would have been very happy with the draw, because you don't need anyone to tell you. You just need to look at the way they celebrated that equalizer. It felt like a win. Yes. Because, listen, that would have dampened a lot of morale. It also would have meant that they would finish second in the group. And so that 92nd minute equalizer solved a lot of problems for Germany, thanks to Füllkrug. And, I was just looking at that goal. Apart from Füllkrug, Rudiger could have also gotten on the end of it. I think Tar could have also gotten on the end of it. There were 3 German players all attempting that header at that point. It just tells you the desperation and the amount of commitment that they put into trying to get the goal that late in the game. And the risk paid off.
Well, so this is it then. Based on all of that we're hearing here, Germany, very, very high-scoring team, 6-goal advantage. Switzerland with 2 goals, Hungary -2, and Scotland -5. Germany on 7 points, Switzerland on 5, Hungary on 3, and Scotland on 1.
Scotland are going home. Hungary have a chance. They just need to wait and see which are the third-place teams. Because remember, there's 6 groups. And it's only in 2 groups where the third-place teams will not qualify. Because it'll be 4 third-place best teams. So it means it's just in 2 groups that the third-place teams will not qualify, which means when you have 3 points, your chances are very high, because there's so many third-place teams that have 1 point or 0 point.
I'm just concerned about their goal difference, -3.
That could come back to haunt them.
Yes.
True story.
Yeah. All right. So let's now do the highlights. Once again, we'd like to back all of this with the highlights so you see how it all happened. And then after that, we will get down to more. The statistical man is here with us in the studio. Very shortly, he will be joining us and bringing our minds to, as usual, one or two of the other things that we would normally not take our minds to at a big tournament such as this. Let's quickly take a look at the Germany highlights. Here we go. So this is how it all happened, and some very good goals there, making the home fans jump onto cloud nine. Well, let's bring in Karim at this time so that we quickly take a look at some of the statistics that we don't normally take our minds to. Karim, good to see you.
Good to see you here, Nats.
Great stuff. Tell me something. So far, which moment has captured your attention in this tournament?
You love God, right?
I do. I love God, yes, I do.
If I was a Christian, which church will I be going?
Oh, well, then you'd come to my church. I'm an Anglican, so I'll take you to Anglican, I'll take you to the Anglican church.
Then I'll go the American way.
Okay. You like the charismatic?
No, the Methodist. According to the Methodist minister, that is Halford Lucock, he says that no single one can play the symphony. It takes the whole orchestra to play it.
Very interesting philosophy, and that borders down on teamwork, isn't
yes.
it?
Can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
What is a symphony?
It doesn't matter. what? But I just have to show you the symphony.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. I know the symphony, and that is why I'm saying that no single person can do it. It takes a whole team to do it. And it means that when the team is there and one doesn't function, you can't win. And it almost cost Germany. Okay. Looking at it in the sense that the substitutions Nagelsmann had to do, and he didn't do it early. It took about 76 minutes for him to make that most important substitution of the game, that is bringing on Niklas Füllkrug. So when he came on, he did what Havertz couldn't do, and I'm going to do that later on. But first, let's look at the general statistics from the game. The game ended 1-1, all right, but Germany were expected to score 2 goals, and they under-delivered. That was because throughout this 92 minutes that they played, Switzerland, they played a perfect game, and heck, did they deserve to win. But there was one man, a big man, and if you could send in wonderful crosses, and if you could send in crosses that he can deliver, and he did exactly that. If you send a brilliant cross like Raum did, and he can deliver and head nicely and wonderfully like he did, and Havertz couldn't do that. That was how Germany ended their goal, but they were expected to score 2 goals. But because of how brilliant and aggressive Switzerland were in their that is rushing onto the Germany players, not giving them the opportunity, how much time they needed to work out those perfect chances and score. So how aggressive they were, that was how Granit Xhaka won that man of the match. And they faced 3 big shots, chances in that game. And really, Manuel Neuer made 2 brilliant saves. That was how they denied Switzerland from winning the game. Shots on target, 3-3 each. But Germany will be kicking themselves in the face for missing those glorious opportunities. In terms of possession, about 75%. Germany dominated the possession, all right, but it was under pressure possession. That is in the sense that Switzerland were forcing them all the time to kick out the ball when they were not prepared to do it. 75% of those times that they've passed the ball out, they didn't do it comfortably. And that is the most they've done in the tournament. That is against Scotland, 65 times that they were forced to pass the ball when they were not ready to do it. And against Hungary, 59 times. This is the pressure map under which moment in the game, which team is under pressure. Germany dominated it, all right, but as I'm saying, they didn't do it comfortably. Switzerland had put them in so much pressure that they couldn't play out how they wanted it. So now let's look at individual players. Kai Havertz, he played the whole 90 minutes. And in that 90 minutes, he was the player that has tagged the ball the most times in the box. That is 11. Wow. And also attempted the most shots. But just one of them was in the penalty. One of them was on target, and his expected goals was that in the game as well. He's the player that has the most expected goals. He accumulated a total expected goals of 0.6. That is the highest in the game, as I've said. Now, I want to compare him to Nicolas Fulkrug, who has played just 14 minutes, and in that 14 minutes, he touched the ball only 2 times in the Switzerland box. And in those 2 touches he has made in the Switzerland box, one of them was the goal, but Havertz has attempted 11. It means that Nagelsmann has a decision to make. It's either Havertz, some players will help you to play how you want to play. That is maybe how Nagelsmann set up the Germany team. They don't need to play or revolve around a center forward. They need a player that is mobile and can come off the center forward position to help in the build-up play. And Havertz does that all right. But when it was first half and the kind of chances he was having and he's not converting them, he was giving Nagelsmann signals that maybe he had to make that substitutions, and how brilliant Fulkrug is. He scored 13 goals for Germany, and 7 of them were substitutes. So it means that he's a super sub. That is understandable, but Nagelsmann should have brought him in earlier, maybe after halftime. So let's look at their short maps. This is Kai Havertz's short map. 3 of these 6 shots he has attempted were headers, and none of them was on target. One hit the crossbar, and they were in zones that Fulkrug, when he came on, he scored these areas. It means that Havertz is not so good with his head, and Germany were sending in crosses. It means that Nagelsmann should have taken off Havertz and brought in a player that would have been more receptive to those crosses. Now let's look at the short map of Nicolas Fulkrug. He attempted just 1 shot, and it was on target. That was the header. It was in this same zone that Havertz was seeing those big opportunities, and he wasn't scoring. So maybe going forward, Nagelsmann should be more proactive with his changes in their round of 16 game.
All right. So there it is.
Actually, a very interesting analysis. Kai Havertz, when he plays, Germany play better. But when Fulkrug plays, they are more efficient. That's the difference.
Well, what are you looking for? Is it the efficiency or playing better or playing the best game? Well, these are all conversations we're going to have as we go along, and especially as we throw the focus on Spain and the kinds of prospects they have, especially because of the results that they've recorded. Well, Spain will be going up against Albania. Do Albania have a chance? Are they going to give us the upset of the tournament? Well, we live to see. We'll be previewing all of that. Plus, later on, we'll also activate the phone line so that you can join us and answer a very simple question and win from NASCO. NASCO, bring home happiness. Karim, thank you so much. And, I still will, get you to my church because we're interdenominational. We're Anglican, Presbyterian, and Methodist. So,
looking forward to it.
All right, so more to come here on Euro Today on Joy Prime. More to come. We've got a preview for you, and then after that, we get into our big question for the day, so you can answer and win a prize. Stay right there. Well, there we go. For those of you who love your smoothies and all, this is it. And whoever gets to answer my question very correctly will win this juice maker stroke blender as a stand blender. And, we need to live healthy. Fentio has changed his diet. On Wednesday, when he celebrates his birthday, we're going to relax the rules a little bit for him. Yeah, but you are still fine.
It's a birthday gift.
No. The birthday gift will come later. This is for the winner.
I like it. It's a nice stand blender. I can use it to blend juice.
Yeah.
And use it to blend tomatoes.
Yeah.
Ginger.
You're an old blood.
Pepper.
I have a young blood. I need that.
Wow.
The fact, yes.
Say, you know what, Mubarak? It's basically saying that me, me worry, like I'm dying, so I should die and go and give him the blend.
Guys, so I trust you're all having fun right there watching us right now. Let's now get down to a bit more of the business. We want to look ahead to.
How do we win the blender? You have to.
Well, I'll tell you about that in a bit. Okay, so there it is. Albania versus Spain, Croatia versus Italy, and that will be the subject of our commentary later this evening. Before we go on to it, I just want to ask a very simple question, and you can hit your dial pad quickly and answer that question, and this will be yours. So, I want you to tell me who the highest scoring player at that international tournament, which is the UEFA Euros, is. What's his name? Just give it to me. His name or the number of goals added to it, all of it is fine. You get to win this. Guys, let's now go down to, and of course, we're going to place the number right there at the bottom of the screen so you can call, and this will be yours if you're able to answer the question
again?
So, who is the highest scoring player in the history of
the Euros?
The Euros.
Should I answer?
Very simple.
Should I answer?
That's the reason. In a single tournament, I meant.
Oh.
In a single, okay?
You have specified.
Okay. The highest scoring player in a single Euros tournament. That's what I was talking
Should I still answer?
What's the most goals scored by a single player?
in a single Euros tournament.
That's the
okay?
question.
All right. So you are barred from answering. Wednesday is your birthday. Maybe on Wednesday I'll allow you to answer a question. But this is for you out there watching. We're placing the number at the bottom of your screen. Just call and answer us, and that's it. Okay.
Which player has scored the most goals?
Player has scored the most goals
at a single
Euros tournament. Okay, guys. Quick thoughts on Albania versus Spain. You take that.
Yeah, quickly. Spain, I don't know if they are going to rotate their squad. They already done their job, and they might freshen up their squad with the likes of Jesus Navas and Oyarzabal starting. I think mortality awaits Albania. Their second Euros is an opportunity for them to beat Spain. And with victory, they will secure a place in the round of 16. So it's prestige for them. They've got the quality to do that. The likes of Bejrami, the likes of Ramadan in midfield, I think they have the quality to head Spain if indeed Spain rotates their squad. So I feel it's an opportunity for Albania to pounce on, maybe a 1-0 victory for Albania.
Okay, 1-0 victory for Albania. Let's quickly get on the line now and have a look at the situation and see if I can get a winner now. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. What's your name and where are you reaching us from?
I'm Isaac. I'm calling from Slovenia.
Oh, Isaac from Somanya. Okay.
Hey.
Do you speak the language? Kajilake? Oh, Wanamausi. Okay, so let's now see if you can answer this question very quickly. Can you tell me what the answer is to the single player who has scored the most number of goals in a single Euros tournament? Tell me, and let's go.
His name is Cristiano Ronaldo from Portugal.
I'm sorry. Wrong answer. You need to listen to the question very, very carefully.
We'll take the next call.
We'll take the next caller. Quickly, can we quickly take the next caller? The next caller?
Yes.
Okay, the next caller.
Somanya has blown it.
Charlie, so my people in Somanya have supported me there. Charlie,
which player has scored the most goals in a single
Euros tournament?
Yes.
A single Euros tournament in history.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Croatia versus Italy. Fent?
Very interesting game. I think Italy would be thanking their stars that they didn't lose by a bigger margin against Spain. Against Croatia, on the other hand, Croatia will be looking to avoid defeat because then they could be on their way home. It's a very experienced squad. Some call it old. So it's not looking good for them. Italy themselves are very desperate. So I can't see any other result here other than Italy going away with something. Italy just need a draw to qualify to the round of 16, and I think they will get it. The problem is, Italy have not kept a clean sheet in 6 consecutive games at the Euros. The last time they kept a clean sheet, you have to go back to their 3rd group game at the last Euros. And then they went all the way to win it and conceded in every single game all the way. And have conceded in the first 2 games of these Euros as well. So their defense not looking good. Donnarumma was the reason they didn't concede so many goals against Spain. He will need to work hard again, but I think it's their offense that need to do the job because it looks like, whatever be the case, their defense will give away something.
Of course, Croatia will also give away something. They've been generous in this tournament.
Exactly.
Okay, the once parsimonious defense, they are now so leaky at the
2 goals against Albania, and then 3 against Spain.
All right, gentlemen, just hold it on before we wrap it up. Let's get the next caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Zakari Garba.
Come again?
My name is Zakari Garba.
Okay, Gariba. Where are you reaching us from?
Tema.
From Tema. Okay. Zachary, who is the single player who has scored the most number of goals at a single Euros tournament?
David Villa.
David Villa is incorrect. I'm so sorry.
Nobody wants to win for that.
I'm so sorry, Zachary. We'll try another time. So what we're going to do
we have time for another call.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to place this question on our Facebook wall. Just take a listen to this. We're placing this question on our Facebook and X wall. The first person The first person to answer, well, my producer says that
we
should be generous
caller
today. Let's have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Tell me your name and where you're reaching us from.
I'm Williams from Ahafo region.
From Ahafo region. Great. Interesting. Okay. Tell me who a single player who has scored the most number of goals at a specific or single Euros tournament.
Okay. It's Michel Platini.
Michel Platini is correct. Congratulations. So we're going to make an arrangement. Hold on, and my producers are going to speak to you.
How many goals?
Well, that doesn't add anything to the prize.
No, he asked something. Then we'll seal the cover for the box. We'll wrap the box.
15 goals. So we'll let our producers speak to you, and then we'll find a way of getting this to you.
Yeah.
In
Just
the
come
Buno
to Joy
region.
FM front desk with an ID card, pick it up.
But he's in the Buno region, so we'll arrange and have it sent to him. Okay. All right. So that's how we wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. So many of these prizes to be won, and make sure you listen very attentively to the question. One word can twist it and turn it around. Okay. All right. Thank you, Fentuo. Thank you very much, Mubarak. Thank you so much to the whole production team here. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. to bring you the show again. So happy birthday to our sound technician, Bright Arthur, as well. Big salutes to you. Thank you so much for what you do for the team. We're out now. We'll be bringing you the games live on Joy 99.7 FM later this evening, so you'd have to join us. But remember, prizes are up to be won. Listen very carefully, word for word, so you get the coordination of the question. Okay, you stay well. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.